They will tell you freedom is the absence of restraint. They will tell you it is doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But look closer at the lives of those who live without discipline, the ones who chase only impulse, who follow only comfort, and you will see not freedom, but a prison with invisible bars. Debt is a prison. Weakness is a prison. Fear is a prison. And the cruelest part, these prisons have no locked doors, only people unwilling to walk out because walking out requires work. True freedom is not the absence of discipline, it is the result of it. It is the power to choose your path because you have prepared yourself to walk it. It is the ability to say yes to opportunity because you were ready long before it knocked. It is the strength to look temptation in the eye and smile because you have already won the battle within. History tells us this truth over and over. Thomas Edison spent years in a lab so small it smelled of oil and dust, sleeping on a bench beside half-finished machines while the world slept. He built his freedom, one experiment, one failure, one discipline at a time. Henry Ford did not create the assembly line in a moment of inspiration. He studied, calculated, tested, failed, and refined, day after disciplined day until the impossible became inevitable. Walt Disney's freedom to imagine worlds came only after years of eating canned beans in a cramped apartment, drawing late into the night with frost creeping along the windowsill. Discipline is the great equalizer. You can be born into poverty. You can inherit no connections, no money, no advantage. But if you take command of your mind, if you bend your habits into the shape of your dream, you hold the same weapon the greats used to carve their names into history. Yet discipline is not glamorous, it is not loud. It is the quiet, daily agreement you make with yourself. I will not betray my future for the comfort of this moment. It is rising when the alarm rings, even when the body begs to sleep. It is turning off the noise and opening the book. It is training when nobody is watching. It is saying no when everyone else says just this once. And here is the paradox. The world fears discipline because it feels like chains. But when you submit yourself to it, you find the chains were never on your wrists, they were on your potential, and discipline is the key that breaks them. Imagine your mind as a wild horse. Untamed, it runs in circles, wasting energy, going nowhere. But when you train it, direct it, harness it, suddenly that raw power can carry you across continents. That is what discipline does for the human spirit. It takes the scattered fragments of desire and turns them into unstoppable momentum. Every empire of success is built on this foundation. Andrew Carnegie worked 12-hour days in a smoky telegraph office before he became the richest man in the world. Abraham Lincoln taught himself law by candlelight after walking miles from the field where he worked. They did not wait for the perfect moment, they built it with discipline. Your freedom will not come from wishing, it will not come from luck, it will not come from the right connections or the right timing. It will come from doing the work when no one else is willing. It will come from shaping your day so your day does not shape you. It will come from the thousands of small, invisible victories you win in silence. Discipline is not something you find. It is something you forge, and the forge is hot, relentless, and merciless, but it creates steel. Every time you follow through on your commitment, you add another layer to the armor that will protect your dream. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you sharpen the blade that will cut through the obstacles in your path. Freedom belongs to the disciplined, because the disciplined can be trusted with it. If you cannot command yourself, how will you command your destiny? If you cannot master your own mind, how will you master the storms of the world? The secret is this: discipline is not a punishment. It is a declaration of love for your future self. It is saying, I will suffer the small discomforts today so I can taste the sweet victories tomorrow. It is giving yourself the gift of choice, the luxury of options, the joy of living life on your terms. And when you understand this, the question changes from how can I make myself be disciplined to how can I live without it? Discipline is the doorway, but purpose is the light shining through it. Without purpose, discipline becomes a grind with no glory, a march with no destination. But when you know why you rise early, why you push through the ache, why you refuse to compromise, every act of discipline becomes a brick in the road to your destiny. Look back at the giants of history, and you will see this pairing discipline yoked to purpose. Edison did not endure 10,000 failed experiments just to make a lamp. He was driven by the vision of lighting cities, banishing the darkness from every home, giving the world a longer day to dream and work. Lincoln did not study law under the dim flame of a tallow candle because he loved reading statutes. He disciplined his mind so he could break the chains of a nation. These were men who suffered no less than you. The difference is that they attached their suffering to something greater. Your purpose is the anchor that holds you steady when storms roar. It is the compass that guides you when the path disappears. It is the fire that keeps burning when the wind howls and the world grows cold. Discipline alone can make you efficient, but discipline with purpose makes you unstoppable. The man who disciplines himself for the sake of money will quit when the money slows. The man who disciplines himself for a cause will endure when the money dries up, when the crowds leave, when the applause fades, because his cause is his oxygen. And here is the truth Napoleon Hill understood: purpose is not something you stumble upon. It is forged through decision, carved from trial, and clarified in solitude. You will not find it scrolling through your phone. You will not hear it over the noise of the world. You will discover it when you dare to be still long enough to listen to the whisper in your own soul. Once you have heard that whisper, your discipline will transform. It will no longer feel like deprivation, it will feel like devotion. The early mornings, the lonely hours, the unseen effort, these will no longer be chores, but sacred rituals in service of the vision you carry. Think of a sculptor, hammer and chisel in hand. Each strike removes something, a chip of marble, a layer of stone. To the untrained eye it looks like destruction, but to the sculptor it is revelation. He is not destroying the marble, he is freeing the statue inside. This is what discipline does to your life. It chips away laziness, doubt, distraction, and fear, until what remains is the pure, unshakable version of you that was always there. But here lies the challenge. The world will not applaud your discipline. No one will throw you a parade for saying no to the party, for running miles before dawn, for studying when others sleep. You will be called obsessive. You will be called boring. You will be misunderstood. And yet when the results come, the very people who doubted you will ask how you did it. They will want the harvest but will not understand the planting. So you must remember, you are not working for their approval. You are working for the life you have seen in your mind, the life no one else can see yet. The discipline you keep today is the freedom you will live tomorrow. Ask yourself this when the temptation comes, and it will, to skip the work, to break the streak, to let the standard slide. Will you choose the comfort of now or the freedom of later? Every choice is a vote. Each vote either elects the future you want or the future you fear. Discipline will make you a person you can trust, and when you trust yourself, truly trust yourself, you unlock a level of confidence that undisciplined will never know, because you will not have to hope you can deliver. You will know. Self-mastery is the crown that discipline places upon your head. Without it, even the most gifted minds crumble under pressure, and even the strongest bodies bend under temptation. With it, you become the rare kind of person who does not just survive the storms, you chart your course through them. Understand this. The undisciplined mind is a battlefield where every fleeting desire and every passing fear wages war for control. One day it is ambition that wins, the next it is doubt, the next it is distraction. Such a person is not living. They are being lived by whatever thought or feeling is strongest in the moment. But the disciplined mind is a fortress. It does not surrender to the noise of the world, nor to the whispers of weakness. It hears the cry of emotion, but it answers only to the command of purpose. Napoleon Hill said, "Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you do not control your thoughts, you cannot control your needs. And if you cannot control your needs, you are forever at the mercy of the world." Think about that. If someone else can tempt you into breaking your own standards, you are not free. If a little discomfort can pull you off your path, you are not free. Freedom is not the right to give in, it is the power to hold fast. Every legend you admire has walked through the crucible of self-mastery. Carnegie could have quit when his first investments failed. Ford could have abandoned the idea of affordable cars after his first company collapsed. Edison could have given up at experiment 999, telling himself it was impossible. But they were ruled not by moods, nor by comfort, nor by the easy road. They were ruled by a vision, enforced by discipline. Self-mastery is not just the ability to keep going when you are tired, it is the ability to keep going when you are tired, tempted, and surrounded by people telling you to quit. It is the steel in your spine when your emotions beg for softness. It is the steady hand on the wheel when the wind howls and the ship tilts. And here's the irony. The more you master yourself, the less you have to fight yourself at first. Discipline feels like war. Every day a battle between what you want now and what you want most. But over time, the battles grow fewer. Your impulses begin to align with your purpose. The noise quiets, the storms inside subside, and in that stillness, you find a freedom that is not fragile, a freedom that cannot be taken from you. The undisciplined seek comfort, the disciplined seek growth. One ends the day satisfied with ease, the other ends the day satisfied with progress, and when enough days pass, the gap between them becomes a chasm, one that cannot be crossed by wishing, only by working. Make no mistake, self-mastery will cost you. It will cost you the company of the lazy. It will cost you the approval of those who fear effort. It will cost you the indulgence of every excuse you have ever told yourself. But what you gain will outweigh it all. Clarity of mind, strength of will, unshakable confidence, and the quiet power of knowing you are exactly who you say you are, because that is the ultimate freedom, not wealth, not fame, not even time. The ultimate freedom is to be able to trust yourself completely, to look in the mirror and know, if I say I will do it, it will be done. And when you reach that point, the world opens to you. Opportunities see you coming and step aside. Challenges shrink in the shadow of your resolve. Obstacles become nothing more than detours on the road you have already decided to walk. Adversity, the word alone sends most people running. They see it as an enemy, a storm that must be avoided, a burden that slows them down. But the disciplined know better. They understand that adversity is not the roadblock, It is the road. Every failure you have faced, every disappointment that burned your chest, every door that slammed in your face, these are not punishments. They are the forge. And discipline is what allows you to stand in the heat long enough for the fire to do its work. The undisciplined crumble in adversity because they are ruled by emotion. Pain comes and they stop. Fear comes and they retreat. They mistake discomfort for danger, and so they never cross the threshold into growth. But those who have built themselves through discipline, they do not flee from the storm. They walk into it with steady steps, knowing the rain will wash away the weak parts of them. They understand that adversity is not a thief, it is a teacher. It strips away the illusions of ease and forces. You too see who you truly are. Think of Lincoln. Before the presidency, before the speeches that shook the nation, he faced failure in business, defeat in elections, heartbreak and loss. But each wound carved a deeper capacity for resilience. Each loss trained his spirit to rise again. Without those trials, there would have been no President Lincoln. Only a man who once dreamed but never endured. Henry Ford faced bankruptcy twice before he revolutionized transportation. Edison failed thousands of times before he succeeded in lighting the world. They were not spared adversity, they were steeled by it. And the steel was discipline. Here is the truth. Adversity will visit you whether you invite it or not. You cannot avoid the storms, but you can decide how you will face them. Will you be the one who curses the rain and hides inside? Or will you be the one who plants in the storm, knowing the harvest will be greater for the struggle? The disciplined choose the latter, because they know that pain is not permanent, but quitting is. They know that discipline does not make life easier, it makes you stronger. And when you are stronger, life's weight becomes lighter. There will be days when the wind is against you, when every step feels like pushing through water. Those are the days when discipline whispers, keep moving. Those are the days that will define you. Because anyone can move forward when the road is smooth. Only the disciplined can move forward when the ground shakes beneath them. And here's the magic. The more you practice discipline and hardship, the more adversity becomes fuel. Setbacks become signals, losses become lessons, pain becomes proof that you are in the fight, that you are alive, that you are moving. Adversity is the resistance that strengthens the muscle of your will. Without it, you would remain soft, fragile, easily broken. With it, you become unbreakable. Not because life stops hitting you, but because you learn how to take the hit and keep moving. Napoleon Hill wrote of the seed of an equivalent benefit hidden in every setback. Discipline is the shovel that digs for that seed. While others curse the dirt, you dig deeper. While others walk away, you plant it. While others forget it, you water it. And when the time is right, it grows into something far greater than what you lost. Freedom comes when you no longer fear the struggle. When you see the struggle as part of the path, you stop wasting energy avoiding it and start using it. And in that moment, adversity stops being the enemy, it becomes your ally. Vision without discipline is a dream that drifts further away each day. Discipline without vision is work without soul. But when the two meet, when you take the fire in your mind and chain it to daily relentless action, you enter the rare territory of creation. The gap between I wish and I have is not luck. It is not talent. It is not waiting for the right moment. It is action, sustained, focused, unshakable action. Long after the excitement fades, anyone can act when they are inspired. Few will act when they are tired, when they are discouraged, when the finish line is nowhere in sight. The disciplined understand something the world forgets. Small steps, repeated daily, are more powerful than giant leaps taken once a year. A single day of extraordinary effort can make you feel good, but it will not change your life. 1,000 days of consistent effort, guided by vision that will move mountains. Look at Edison. He did not set out to invent the light bulb in one burst of genius. He set out to test, to adjust, to refine, to fail, and to try again. Look at Disney. Before the magic, there were years of drawing, learning, pitching, and being told no until his ideas finally lit up the world. Look at Ford. His vision of affordable cars was laughed at until his discipline made it reality. Action is the bridge between thought and thing. Without it, ideas remain ghosts in your mind. With it, ideas become steel, glass, and gold in the world. But discipline and action is not only about doing the work, it's about doing it the right way. It's not movement for the sake of movement, it's movement with intention. You don't plant seeds randomly, you plant them in the right soil, at the right time, and you tend them until they grow. And here's the beauty of discipline. Over time, it becomes identity. At first, you have to force yourself to act. Then it becomes habit, and then it becomes who you are. The person who doesn't wait to feel like working, they work. The person who doesn't ask if it's possible, they make it possible. The person who doesn't seek motivation, they create it by acting. When you live this way, freedom stops being a dream and starts being your daily reality. You wake up knowing you have control over your time, your choices, your direction. You no longer live at the mercy of moods or circumstances. You live on your own terms, not because the world allowed it, but because you built it. And so, as this comes to a close, remember, discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is the architect of it. It is the unseen force behind every triumph. the quiet strength behind every victory, the steady hand that builds the life you were meant to live. You do not need to be the smartest. You do not need to be the strongest. You only need to be willing to pay the price every day in focus, in effort, in sacrifice, until the life you envision is the life you inhabit. One day you will stand in the world you once imagined. You will breathe the air of a life you've built with your own hands. And when people ask how you got there, you will know the truth. You walked through the gate that others feared to enter. You chose discipline. And in doing so, you chose freedom. Now, the choice is yours. The door is open. Step through it.